Have you ever found it challenging to alter a bad habit, whether it's for leading a healthier lifestyle or developing habits for professional success? Have you ever questioned how some individuals seem to effortlessly accomplish their objectives while others struggle to even begin? What if I told you that there's a science to creating and breaking habits, and that by understanding and applying it, you could transform your life? That's exactly what The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg offers. A fascinating look into the psychology and neuroscience behind habits, and practical tools to help you develop good habits and eliminate bad ones. In The Power of Habit, Why We Do What We Do in Life and Business, author Charles Duhigg explores the science behind habit formation and its impact on individuals, organizations, and societies. The book delves into the power of habits, how they are formed, and how they can be changed. Drawing on the latest research in psychology, neuroscience, and sociology, Duhigg provides practical insights into how individuals and organizations can harness the power of habits to achieve success. Throughout the book, readers will learn how habits work, why they exist, and how they can be changed. They will discover the key components of habit formation, including cues, routines, and rewards. They will also learn about the role of willpower and the importance of creating new habits to replace old ones. The Power of Habit is structured in 3 main parts followed by the epilogue. In this video, we will explore the insights discussed in each of the parts in detail, so let's get started. In Part 1, the author explores how habits work and how we can create new ones to transform our lives. The main insight of this section is that habits are not just behaviors, but a complex loop of cues, routines, and rewards that drive our actions. The author explains that by understanding this loop and manipulating its components, we can replace bad habits with good ones and achieve lasting change. Duhigg starts by introducing the concept of the habit loop and how it operates in our brain. He explains that every habit starts with a cue, which triggers a routine that leads to a reward. By repeating this cycle over time, our brain creates a powerful neural pathway that makes the behavior automatic and hard to break. To change a habit, Duhigg advises us to identify the cues and rewards that drive it, and experiment with new routines that satisfy the same craving. For example, if we want to stop snacking in the afternoon, we should figure out what triggers the urge to snack, cue, and what we get out of it, reward, and try to substitute the snacking with a healthier habit that satisfies the same reward, such as taking a walk or drinking water. The second key insight of this section is that to create new habits, we need to leverage the power of cravings. Duhigg argues that habits form when we associate a particular behavior with a positive outcome, such as pleasure or relief from stress, and that this association creates a craving that drives the behavior. Therefore, to establish a new habit, we need to create a similar craving by linking the behavior to a reward that we value. The author provides several examples of how this can be done, such as by making the reward immediate, visualizing the desired outcome, or creating a sense of ownership and identity around the habit. The third and final insight of this section is that habit change is not a one-time event, but a gradual process that requires patience and persistence. Duhigg explains that breaking a habit requires awareness and willpower, but creating a new one requires repetition and consistency. Therefore, he advises us to start small and focus on one habit at a time, to track our progress, and to reward ourselves for every small win. The author also emphasizes the importance of social support and accountability, as they can provide motivation and feedback that keep us on track. In summary, Part 1 provides a comprehensive framework for understanding how habits work and how we can change them. Duhigg's key insights are that habits are a loop of cues, routines, and rewards, that we can create new habits by leveraging the power of cravings, and that habit change is a gradual process that requires patience and support. By applying these insights to our own lives, we can break bad habits, establish good ones, and transform ourselves into the people we want to be. Part 2 is all about the habits of successful organizations. The author argues that organizations can achieve success by cultivating certain habits that drive them towards their goals. Here are the key insights from this section. Firstly, the author stresses the importance of creating a sense of purpose within an organization. A clear and compelling mission statement can provide employees with a sense of direction and motivate them to work towards a common goal. For example, the author describes how the CEO of Alcoa, Paul O'Neill, used a focus on workplace safety to create a sense of purpose that transformed the company's culture and led to significant improvements in productivity and profits. Secondly, the author emphasizes the importance of creating a culture of psychological safety within an organization. When employees feel safe to express their ideas and opinions without fear of retribution, they are more likely to collaborate effectively and innovate. For example, the author describes how Google's Project Aristotle found that the most successful teams were those where members felt psychologically safe to share their thoughts and ideas. Thirdly, the author explains the importance of cultivating effective leadership within an organization. Effective leaders create a culture of accountability and help employees to develop habits that are aligned with the organization's goals. For example, the author describes how the turnaround of the failing retailer, Target, was driven by the leadership of CEO Brian Cornell, who focused on developing a culture of accountability and using data-driven decision-making to drive the company's growth. The author also discusses the importance of analyzing data to identify the habits that are driving an organization's success or failure. By understanding which habits are producing the desired outcomes, organizations can focus their efforts on reinforcing these habits and eliminating those that are hindering progress. For example, the author describes how the data analysis efforts of the Chicago Cubs baseball team helped them to identify and reinforce the habits that led to their historic World Series win in 2016. The author explains the importance of using keystone habits to drive change within an organization. Keystone habits are those that have a cascading effect on other habits within an organization, leading to widespread change. For example, the author describes how the implementation of a daily exercise routine by the new CEO of the aluminum manufacturer, Alcoa, led to a cascade of other changes that transformed the company's culture and drove its success. Lastly, the author emphasizes the importance of creating a sense of urgency within an organization to drive change. Urgency can be created by communicating a clear and compelling vision of the future, and by emphasizing the consequences of inaction. For example, the author describes how the turnaround of the troubled Rhode Island school system was driven by the urgency created by the impending loss of accreditation, which motivated educators to work together to implement significant changes. In conclusion, Part 2 provides readers with valuable insights into the habits of successful organizations. By creating a sense of purpose, cultivating a culture of psychological safety, developing effective leadership, analyzing data, using keystone habits, and creating a sense of urgency, organizations can build habits that drive them towards success. Part 3 explores how habits shape societies. The section begins by discussing how social habits, such as smoking or drunk driving, are created and how they can be changed. The author provides various examples, including the story of how a small Rhode Island community was able to significantly reduce its smoking rate by changing social norms. The key takeaway is that social habits are powerful, but they can be changed by focusing on the habits of influential groups and changing the social norms surrounding the habit. The section then goes on to discuss how movements are created by changing habits. The author provides the example of the civil rights movement, which was able to effect change by creating new habits and changing existing ones. The key takeaway is that movements are successful when they are able to create a sense of identity and community around a cause and when they are able to focus on small wins that build momentum over time. He then discusses the habits of successful organizations and how they create a culture of excellence. The author argues that successful organizations have a clear sense of purpose and values, and that they create habits and routines that support these values. The key takeaway is that successful organizations are able to create a culture of excellence by focusing on the habits and routines of their employees, and by creating a sense of purpose and values that are aligned with the mission of the organization. The section then goes on to discuss the role of keystone habits in shaping societies. Keystone habits are habits that have a ripple effect, creating positive change in other areas of a person's life. The author provides various examples, including the story of how a new CEO was able to turn around a failing company by focusing on a few key habits. The key takeaway is that keystone habits can be incredibly powerful, and that by focusing on a few key habits, individuals and organizations can create positive change in their lives and in the world around them. The final chapters of Part 3 discusses the habits of societies and how they can be changed. The author argues that social change is possible when people are able to create new habits and routines that support the change they want to see. The key takeaway is that social change is not easy, but it is possible when individuals and organizations are able to create new habits and routines that support the change they want to see, and when they are able to focus on small wins that build momentum over time. Overall, Part 3 shows how habits shape societies and how social change is possible when people are able to create new habits and routines that support the change they want to see. The section provides various examples of how this has been done in the past, and it offers practical advice on how individuals and organizations can create new habits and routines that support their goals and values. In the epilogue, the author summarizes the key points from the book and provides additional insights on what he calls the secret rules of success. The author argues that success is not simply the result of individual talent or hard work, but rather a complex combination of factors that are often beyond our control. He identifies several key factors that contribute to success, including cultural legacies, chance events, and the influence of hidden networks. The author suggests that in order to achieve success, we need to understand the importance of these factors and learn how to navigate them effectively. He stresses the importance of building strong relationships and networks, as well as being open to new opportunities and taking advantage of chance events when they arise. The author also emphasizes the importance of cultural legacies in shaping individual success. He explains that our cultural background can influence our beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors in ways that we may not even be aware of. For example, he points out that certain cultures may value hard work and determination more than others, which can give individuals from those cultures an advantage in achieving success. Another key point that the author makes is the role of feedback loops in perpetuating success or failure. He explains that once an individual or organization begins to experience success, it can create a self-reinforcing cycle of positive feedback that leads to even greater success. Conversely, failure can create a negative feedback loop that is difficult to escape. To overcome these challenges, the author suggests that we need to be mindful of our own biases and limitations, and actively seek out diverse perspectives and feedback. He encourages readers to embrace a growth mindset, to continually learn and adapt to new situations, and to be willing to take risks and learn from failure. In conclusion, the author argues that success is not just a matter of individual talent or hard work, but is the result of a complex interplay of factors that are often beyond our control. He suggests that in order to achieve success, we need to understand and navigate these factors effectively, build strong relationships and networks, be open to new opportunities, and embrace a growth mindset. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more, you can find a link to the full book, as well as the Kindle and audiobook versions, in the description below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel to continue your journey on the shortcut to self-improvement.